Greetings from Cybertron. This is SoundJack here with a review of the Transformers, Titans Return, Voyager class, Murk, and Decepticon Octone. So, another one of the Decepticon triple changers has graced the Titans Return toy line. In this case, it is the only Decepticon triple changer that was released in the year 1986. He was originally called Octane, but he lost the name because Octane's a really hard word to trademark. So he became Tankor for a little bit there, and now he got kind of his name back as Octone or Oct1, however you want to say that. But regardless, he is here and with his new partner, Decepticon Murk. So let's take a closer look at these two. Murk is here, and you can see he is predominantly off-white in the body with a purple head, and the purple head has features. It's got eyes, it's got nose, it's got a mouth, and he's got a very interesting hump design going on there. Very interesting design there. And then you can see all the details going on in the chest, including his asymmetrical chest going on there. He's got his arms. He even has little molded feet in there. Well, I think all of them have little molded feet, but his feel different to me for whatever reason. Yeah, and that's Octone. That's Murk. And then there's Octone's face on the back. And it's a very nice purple helmet, silver face, and red eyes going on there with a little bit of a... He's got a nice chin going on, too. Look at that chin. That's almost an animated chin. But yeah, that's a very nice head sculpt for Octane or Octone. For Murk's articulation, his head is able to rotate a full 360. It is able to bob back and forth and is able to go side to side a little bit. His arms are able to bend all the way back. And they are able to bend outward only that far. The legs are able to bend that far forward and that far back. And the knees are able to bend that far back and that far forward. And to transform him, you just collapse him in half, and there you have him in Octane's head mode. Octone's head mode, I should say. So that's all there is to say on Murk by himself. Now we'll take a closer look at Octone in his first alternate mode, that being a jet, a cargo jet. And it's a little weirdly proportioned, but but it's also going to be a tanker truck. If you couldn't tell by the truck halves on the underside of the wings, he does have a bit of the Megatron toy problem, where like he just got some excess bits of the ground vehicle mode just hiding under the wings as best they can. Though this one doesn't do nearly as good of a job since the wings don't really cover that at all. But it's a place to put it. But the passenger jet mode is pretty nice. You're coming up front. Most of the body is off white. You got the front of the plane up here front. You got a little bit of silver going on in those windows. I think they're stickers though. Yeah, I think these are stickers in these windows. And then there's these stripes going along the side of the body. They're all stickered. You can see this one's a little you can see that's a little bit bent off, and that's a bit off center. But you do have a Decepticon symbol going on there. If I can get the lighting correct, so as you can see that, you have a very interesting color palette of stripes going on there. You come up here, you see a couple time master ports, one there, and two more right there. And I'm pretty sure those are all the time master ports. But I'll show that off in a bit. And then you got these big gray wings with the stickers with similar color stripes going on and more Decepticon symbols on the ends of the wings. Then you got the purple cockpit, which I'll show off again a little bit, though it's very nice with the cockpit, the plane hatch opening, even though that's would probably be for more of a smaller plane, maybe it's also for the truck mode, where like it's the opening to get into the main the main part of the fuel trailer. Yeah, I know what I'm talking about. I definitely know what I'm talking about. And then you come back here, and then you got these white tail wings, you got gray, and then you got some blue stripes going up on this tail fin. I will point this out right now. This is capable of splitting. This tail fin is entirely capable of splitting and doing a that job because it's not showing me that, yes, you can split that. There's just a tab and a slot right there. My question is, why can it do that? Because I have a version of the Optimus mold of this, and I'm pretty sure it doesn't do that. And there's no other purpose this would serve, so I don't understand why it's split. So just to point it out, that's a thing that exists. Yeah, but anyway, come on in here. You got the truck halves that I'll talk about when we actually get to the truck mode, and then underneath, you got some wheels going on here. You got white, and you see some of the robot chest, though it's not completely clear. That's the robot chest. Though I do want to know with the position of these wheels, because you got these wheels right here, these wheels right here, and these wheels right here. You are able to make them roll, and they work very nicely as like the plane's landing gear with how they're positioned, because it's such a big jet, so it would have a lot of big landing gear. So that I do like. I like how they got this work, and that it still allows the cargo plane to roll, so it can like take off and all of that. But anyway, yeah, that's all. That's the main part of the plane mode. Like I mentioned before, there are the 4 Titan Master ports that you can just plug into the bottom of any Titan Master, and they are able to stand on the plane. You can also open up this cockpit right here, and it's fairly plain inside. You see there's a Titan Master. Can you see it? Let me see if I can get this better. Come on, yeah, right. Whoops, almost dropped my light. But you can see there's a hole right there that fits the tab on the back of the Titan Master's legs right there. You just get him into a seating position, and then you just plop him in. You can get him tabbed in there pretty nicely. Then you just close that up, and there you have a Murk riding Octone that you can't really see. Yeah. But besides that, there are also 2 weapon accessories for Octone. First is this gun, which is really more of a gun for the Optimus Prime version of this mold, but I will talk about that when I actually review the Optimus Prime version of this mold. But it does have a Titan Master seeing capability, so I'll show that off to right there. 2 guns in the front, a port right there, a 5mm post there, and there. Though there are also 2 5mm ports right up here and right down there, which can accommodate this gun, which is definitely more of a more Octone gun, or Octane gun rather. And it's a very nice long rifle going on, and well, it should be able to plug in there, but it's like it'll hold, but it is very loose in both of them. There's definitely in the front one that does not hold all that well. There's just enough friction that's not going to fall out, but like it will. It certainly will. But those are those places, so you can have 2 different ways to do that. However, there are also these bits on the side of Octone's gun that can actually accommodate that. I thought they could. Never mind. They look like they can, and it feels like maybe these posts are also too small, but it feels like these should be 5mm compatible and can grasp them. But it doesn't seem that they are, so I was mistaken. But in terms of storage on the plane mode, there is this hole right here and a hole on this side that can accommodate these weapons. You can just plug them right in. And now you have a weaponized cargo plane, if that's your speed. Those are the only places to store them in this mode, however. There's nothing under the wings like most jet formers have or anything like that. Just those side places. And nothing on the top either. But yeah, that's all there's to say on Octone in his cargo mode. So let's get into some size comparisons right now. Here he is next to the Legends class Bumblebee. I'm going to raise the camera up a bit since he's a jet and a long boy. So there's that size comparison. Yep. Here he is next to Legends class Chrome Dome. I'll raise the camera up even a little bit more. There's that comparison. we have Voyager. Whoops. Get out of here, Doom Shot. We got Voyager class Megatron. And you can see how they scale. And we have Leader class 6-shot. And you can see how they scale. And you can see Octone is longer than 6-shot is in his car mode. So yeah. Well, that's all there's to say on Octone in his jet mode. So now we're going to roll right along to his tanker truck mode. So in order to do that, first thing we're going to do is we're just going to get these wings out of the way. They just lightly tap, these tabs just lightly slot into these hole ports on the wings. So I'll just move them out of the way for the time being. We're going to flip this panel down and I'm going to move it past to where it actually goes to also get it out of the way. Then we'll fold these tail fins up. We're going to come back here. We're going to pull the tail fin out. And there are also two tabs that kind of slot into that bit right there. And then we're going to fold it down like so. And next we're going to do is we're going to take these truck halves. We're just going to bring them around and collapse them in together. Do that to the other side. Have that all tab in. There's a tab that goes into that slot right there. That tab to that slot. And that all collapses. And then we just fold this panel down like so. And then we got pretty much the front of the truck done. Now we just got to get all this turned into the rest of the tanker truck. So what we're going to do is we are going to come and we are going to split this whole section apart. We're going to take these panels. They just slot into those bits right there. And there are tabs to that slot, tab slot to get that all connected. And also this groove right here goes into that section right there to get that all together. We'll just move those out of the way for the time being while we work down here. So what's going to happen is we're going to take the front halves of the jet. I'm going to rotate them like so. And then we're going to fold them into the main body. And there's also, while we're in here, look at that nice detailing going on there. Look at all that detailing. Look at that nice detailing going on. It's all very nice. Very nice and very extra detailing. We're going to, again, rotate this around like so and collapse like that. And then these tabs, that tabs into that slot, and then we're good with that. Next, we're going to come down here. We're going to rotate this entire assembly around, and it's just going to notch in like so. Repeat on the other side. Rotate that around. That's going to notch in like so. And now we're gonna rotate these wings like so, so instead of them being positioned in this way, which is how they need to be for the jet mode, they're going to be positioned this way. And we'll extend them out and fold them down like that. We're going to do the same to the other side. Do that, rotate that around, bend it out, extend it down like that. And there's a few tabs and a few slots. Well, actually, the tabs, there are slots on the wings right there and right there. That'll go into these tabs right there and there. It's a bit of a pain to line up, but that's going to be the best way to get this all adjusted. So get the one and then get the other, and then when you do that, you can tab everything together so it all sits tight and nice. And then once you do that, you can collapse. Sorry. And I managed to actually do that pretty easily this time. So you just have to make sure you get those tabs into those wings, and then they'll hold everything together. And then you just collapse these sections back in, collapse these sections back in, tab everything properly, have everything go appropriately. And there you have Octone in his tanker truck mode. And that's a pretty neat transformation. There are a few problems. For whatever reason on Octone, the cab does not stay together. And it's not an issue with this, apparently. It's just something with the design or the molding that's different that none of the Octones apparently want to hold together. It's not that bad on camera, but like, whoops. You can see there's a pretty big gap going on right there and all of that. So that's unfortunate. But anyway, taking a look at the tanker truck mode, We got a predominantly dark, I'd say black, maybe very, very dark purple going on for most of the cab. We got a purple front, definitely black grille going on there. A little bit of purple going on there. We got some off-white going on the sides there. We got wheels going on. You even got a door going on there. Bit of silver for the smokestacks, though this hinge right there is not painted at all. Got steps going on. More black wheels. The stickers, as you saw before, keep running down the side of the thing. You got that kind of grille thing going on. You got a little bit of a gap there, but it's fine. It's really fine because there would be a gap here on an actual tanker truck. And you got the back wheels here, and you got a little bit of purple going on there. You do have the wings sticking out a little bit right there and right there, but it's aight. Not the best, but it's aight. And then most of this is the same that you saw in the jet mode, actually. And then you can see underneath and how he looks different underneath. But you see a bit more of how the robot's going to form in this form. In terms of Time Master interaction, these same Time Master ports are still accessible. You can still get a Time Master seated inside, but instead of using that slot, hold on if I can get the lighting correctly. Instead of using that slot right there, you can use that slot right there to get a Time Master sitting and facing the correct direction of the truck. This is an interesting transformation of how backwards, like how you flip the orientation of the vehicle. And then you got Murk sitting inside there. And again, you just close that up. And again, the weapons for Octone just peg in the same holes they did before, and there's no other places to store them in the vehicle mode. So yeah. And with that, let's get into some size comparisons for this form. So let's get Murk standing up like so. Yeah. So then we got Bumblebee as the first size comparison. Nope, and we gotta do the long standing, and I do definitely have to raise the camera for this. You can see that comparison. You got Deluxe Class Chrome Dome going on. Voyager Class Megatron, which Octone is substantially longer than. And Leader Class 6-Shot. And you can see he is still longer than 6-Shot is. So yeah, that's all there's to say on the tanker truck mode. So now let's finish this up and roll right along to the robot mode. So we're first gonna come down here. I'm gonna split these panels again and just fold them down. Split these panels again and just fold them on down, covering that. Then we'll split the legs. We'll get the wings out of the way right now, and then I'll work on them later. And then we're gonna rotate this section out, come over here, flip the foot out, and then rotate it back down. We'll repeat that on the other side. Rotate this section out, flip the foot out, and rotate it back down. Then we're gonna come down here, and you can see there's a slide going on here. Actually, let me do it this side, you'll get better lighting. There's a slide going on there. So what we're gonna do is gonna take this entire section and slide it all forward. So you can see it was back there and now it's up here. Like so, and then the legs are all done. Next thing you're gonna do is you're gonna take this panel and you're gonna collapse it down onto the chest, like so. Then we'll come up here and split the arms, like so. And then these tabs are gonna go into that slot right there, like so. Same on the other side. And then you'll fold this section up and rotate it forward. Come down here, rotate this around and extend the fist out. Well, flip the fist out. Then you repeat that on the other side. Fold that up, rotate it forward, rotate that, flip it out. That'll tab in. Why it tabs in, I don't know, but it tabs in. And that's the arms done. So coming back here to the wings, the best way to get them into a proper position, you're gonna need to fold them out like so. Let me get these wings adjusted. Fold them out like so, and then rotate them at that hinge. And then there are little tabs right here that will go into these slots, I believe. Yeah, those slots on the wings. And they don't like necessarily tab, but that's a place like where they sit. So they'll go right there. You can do that on the other side. Rotate that up and just slot them in to the wings. You take this section and you rotate it around like so. That's the best you can do. You can't do anything else to get it. Well, you can slide that in like that, and then it's a little bit more out of the way. So yeah. Then you got most of Octone together. Now you just need to get Murk. Whoops, I dropped Murk. Collapse him in half, transform him, stick his head in, like so. And there you have Octone in his robot mode, and he does look very nice. He does borrow more traits from Generation 2 Optimus Prime than he should, but that's because he was sharing a mold with him. So he does suffer from that, but he still does have enough of Octane's elements to still make him Octane. So that is very nice. Taking a closer look at him, we got Octane's head, and you already saw that. And you come down here, you got this very dark colored chest going on. Decepticon symbol there, a little bit of purple spots right there, and two orangey triangles on his stomach right there. A little bit of molding there. You got a couple wheels sticking out of the stomach. His lower crotch, his crotch is all in the off-white. His legs are all in the off-white. His thighs are mostly off-white, little bits of purple here and there, as well as some wheels. Oh, and I did forget to mention that the truck mode is obviously able to roll, but I hope you figured that out. There are he has predominantly purple feet. You can see that most of the back of the legs are just made up by the tanker truck section. The arms, they got these shoulder bits. You got the same dark colored shoulders for the most part, with a little bit of gray going on. Sorry, a little bit of gray going on there. You got purple shoulders themselves, off-white upper arms, predominantly purple lower arms, and very purple fists going on there. And then you got the nice wings sticking out the back. And they do have the same, these are the undersides of the wings, and they have the same sticker details as the upper side of the wings do. And then you can see the back of Octane like so. It's fairly clean. The most of it, it's just that sticking out. It's honestly like how thick his legs are that is like the most like of the clutter. It's not really cluttered because it's all compacted, but it's kind of cluttery because there's so much to his lower legs. They're like just so thick. But anyway, he does have, actually you don't need to fold that up for this. He does have the same head buffer thing, and you just press the button on his stomach and these bits come out, and these were definitely designed for Optimus, and I don't think they look any good in any way on Octone. So I'm just gonna hide those, and well, actually I'm gonna bring them up to show the head articulation with these things is very limited to that and that because of this bit they're standing on, they're attached to. So I can just collapse that and then give him standard head articulation, full 360, a little bit of bobbing, a little bit of side to side. His arms, problems with articulation come because he's got giant shoulder pads and giant wings, but if you were to get them out of the way, you can get a full 360 degrees out of the shoulders, but again, there's a lot of kibble going on that's getting in the way. The arms are able to extend that far up to the side. There is a bicep swivel, allows full 360 degree rotation, and an elbow bend that gives him slightly less than 90 degrees of bend at the elbow. Nothing at the wrist unless you de-transform him, and then you kind of break his wrist if you count that. And then coming up here, we got legs that are able to bend that far forward, that far back, and can go that far out. He does have a thigh swivel, giving him 360 degrees of rotation. He does have a knee bend that allows him 90 degrees of bend. And he has a little bit of foot pivot, But as you can see, with the big legs, if you pivot them that far, he doesn't have a heel. So and you can balance him, but there's definitely angles where pivoting him is going to not help, because the whole thick back section of the legs are basically designed to be the heel, because there's just so much of it. And there are going to be positions that's going to be hard to get him into, without utilizing the heel as a support, using this section as heel support. So you do have access, and you can probably pose, if you're a better poser than I am, you can probably get him in some good positions, but is a little tricky because of how his legs are. He is able to hold his weapons. He's got 5mm posts in his hands. He is able to hold them in his hands, like so. And there's no other place else for them, because the ports that were available in his vehicle modes are now covered up by these panels. So that's the only place you can have Octone have his weapons. There's no robot mode storage anywhere for him for those. But yeah, that's all there's to say on Octone in his robot mode. So let's get on to some robot mode size comparisons. Here he is next to Legends class Bumblebee. And you can see Bumblebee comes up to about his thigh swivel. We have Deluxe class Chrome Dome. And you can see Chrome Dome comes up to about right there on his chest. Right about there. We have Voyager class Megatron. You got the Voyager Megs right there, if he'll stand straight. And Megatron is about a quarter of a head taller than Octone is. So he ends up being a bit taller. And then we got Leader class 6-shot. We gotta get not Overlord. Octone behind him because of his giant wings. He's got a massive wingspan in robot mode. But yeah, Octone comes up to about the bottom of his wings, his chest wings right there. And then, of course, we have the channel's mascots, Soundwave and Wheeljack. So you can see how they look next to him. Come on, Wheeljack, in position. There we are. So yeah, Octone's pretty nice. He does a very good job at being Octone. I like it. I do like it. I do wish the cab would stick together better. The jet nose cone does have a little bit of a sticking issue. That's fine. Articulation is a little hindered just because of how the toy is designed. But I mean, for me, it's completely fine because most of the time he's going to be in the same position on the shelf. But he still looks good. He still is very nice. He's a very nice toy. Nice to complete the triple changes in a Voyager scale. Well, we're not completed yet because tomorrow is going to be Blitzwing. So then we'll have them all completed. But it's very nice to get them all. Very nice to get them all on a Voyager scale. And yeah, I like this toy. So if you like it, pick it up. If you can. But yeah, that's all I have to say on Decepticon Octone. So thank you for watching. If you enjoyed, please like and share this video and subscribe to the channel. You can also follow me on Twitter and Instagram at SoundJack426. Also, please consider donating on my Patreon page to help support the channel. All the links will be in the description below. Thanks for tuning in. This is SoundJack signing off.